Alright, I kind of been messing with this thing just very briefly, trying to see if I can kind of wiggle it and pull these bearing cap retainer things off, and they're not budging. They do have some play in them, but I'm going to prep this thing to put it on the bearing splitter on the press, and we'll just press it out. Generally speaking, you wouldn't grab this thing like this because these are usually extremely sharp. And I probably still shouldn't be, but they're pretty dull and it doesn't seem to be cutting me or anything. So, alright, let me go get set up on the press. I'm going to need something skinny to go down on the side of the middle of this. Socket or something. Alright, it's a little bit tricky because I got to go up like that and then use one of these guys in there, I think. Is that going to even fit? I got to loosen that up a little. Alright. Okay, now it's held in place. Of course, it's a little bitty socket. When I start pressing, I'm going to have to reach down to the bottom. I don't think I need to tighten these. Nothing's going to push out on that, so I'm not even going to dick with that. Where is the thing for this? I don't have the... Dude, where is everything? Alright. It's not going to fight me a whole lot, but... Yeah, see, it's just pushing it right out. And there you have it. Now I don't know. Do I need to push? Maybe I need to get this one off of there too. Or no. So the new one comes with new bearings, so I'm not going to mess with that. Alright, now that I've had this thing off of there and had a chance to look at it and look over the schematic thing that Chuck emailed me, and I'll go ahead and put that up on the screen right now. There are no differences in the length or the diameter of the bearing surfaces or any of that between the two versions that they offer. The differences are in the cutting head diameter, the effective diameter that it cuts. And so as you can see here, we've got the G6 one is the bigger one. That's going to be a diameter of 2 5/8 inches. And then the G6/63 is the smaller one. Chuck said that's the more common one. That's the one I should have, but we'll go ahead and measure just to verify. And so all these instructions here at the top talking about get a piece of paper and all that, I've got a tailor's tape. So we'll see if I can put that to use here and see if we can get ourselves an accurate measurement. So putting this on here, it's a little bit, here's what you want to do. The issue with this is that these knives, they stick out past the base circle, and so if you just take this tape and you just pull it as tight as you can, you're going to get 7 3/4, and that's because the tape is going over these knives and then hugging the base circle tight. To get the actual diameter, it needs to be a better circle than that, and so what I'm going to attempt to do here is only put pressure where the cutter heads are and maintain the gap out from the base circle that they are. Maintain that gap between those three knives, and what we end up with is exactly what he said, 7 7/8. Whereas if you put this thing to what it says, what, 8 to 8 1/4, I mean, that's obviously, we got a lot of slack here, so it's definitely the smaller diameter one. So we'll probably be calling Chuck back and ordering the G6/63 one. So that's that part. Okay, I have no idea if this is going to work or not, but just to make sure, another part of that thing said the cutting diameter is what you're basically trying to figure out by using the circumference as a proxy for that. And so I thought to myself, obviously the problem is there's 3 cut, so you can't just measure, you know what I mean? You'd have to know how far out that went and measure from there to there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try this, see if it works. I somehow, by some miracle, not this one, that's the wrong bearing. Somehow, by some miracle, found a Forstner bit that's the same diameter as this bearing. And so I'm going to drill a hole in here, put the bearing back on this cutter head, and then stick it down in there and twist it around and make it cut a score line, and then I'll measure that to come up with the actual diameter. So dumbest idea ever, or absolutely genius? We'll find out in a little bit. Boy, this is dull as heck. So, not looking good for the genius part. Alright, let me, that sucks. Let me figure out some way to sharpen this maybe, and then we'll see if we can return to this idea. I just basically used an angle grinder on that surface there. It's not great. Let's see if it's any better. It's not any better. Huh, that sucks. Okay, well, this might have been a complete fail here. Well, it's kind of getting there. Does this even fit down in there? Yeah. Okay. This might actually work. That'd be hilarious. Now it's stuck in there. Alright. I don't want to drill into this failing, so let's come back when I've actually put this plan into action, I guess is the end of that sentence. Okay, so it's starting to cut right there. Let's see if this... Alright, I've got a pretty definite line here, and it is it's definitely not 2 5/8. Looks to me like that's 2 1/2. I mean, I guess there's no reason to cut it an inch when it goes a little bit past. So anyway, so yeah, looks like we're going with the G6/63 one. So yeah, that worked. Alright, it's been a few weeks, but the Helix head finally came in. So let's do an unboxing. Looks like somebody already opened it. Ooh, that's sharp. Get it? Okay. I'm going to try to keep it contained within these blocks so that I'm not laying those teeth directly on this steel thing here. I think I can just lift these up, right? Yeah. Spacers. We got us a sticker. We've got extra cutters. Let's just open this up, see what we got here. So there's a little tool here. Pretty nice one actually, that's not bad. With the appropriate Torx bit, instructions, mostly pretty self-explanatory, I'm sure. Hopefully this has all been framed properly and you can just pause it and read through it if you want, if you so desire. And then we've got a little, see if I can open this without these going everywhere. We've got an extra 5 cutters, so that's kind of cool. So this does come with new bearings, the front and back. Let's tell you what, let's do. Let me get a bunch of rags to set this on, a pair of gloves, and I'll show a comparison of the old cutter head and this one. That should be a nice little comfortable bed of rags to set there. Okay, so right off the bat I do not see a key that came with this. Nope, I don't think so. So we will need to reuse the old one, which is fine. There's your, I don't have that bearing on this one, but there's your comparison of the old one and the new one. Whatever that's worth. It does come with new bearings, which is nice. Okay. So now, let's see, where's the... I got all this stuff from before. So as you can see, these are the bearing caps. One of them's bigger than the other. So this one goes on this side, and that one goes on that side. And of course these get these studs threaded onto the bottom of them, which drop down through the holes in the joiner bed and get bolted down from below. So let me clean these up and then we'll stick them on here. And do these, one thing I don't know is if these slide on there. One thing I don't know is if these things slide on there easily or if I have to press them on. Might have to press them. Well, anyway, let me get these cleaned up and we'll come back. I'll decide if I need to press these or not.